Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Washington State rebuild. The challenge here is simple. I have 5 seasons to take Washington State from where they are now to a national championship team. The real reason I decided to take my talents to Pullman, try and pull something off here at Wazzu, is because they've really been screwed over in this new conference realignment, and specifically them in the PAC-2. I felt like Oregon State was getting a lot of the attention, but Washington State is just right in there, in my opinion. I think they're both in similar tiers of athletic programs, and they have a lot of history as a fan base and as a team. I mean, if you watch College Game Day, especially the Game Day show on ESPN, it's kind of a known thing that they fly their flag at every single one of those. They have a very dedicated and well-traveled fan base, and so them getting screwed over, unfortunate. And so I want to bring them some glory here. And I'm not only going to be rebuilding Washington State, but I'm also rebuilding the Pac-12 as well. So throughout this, I'll be adding in teams that are either outperforming in like the Mountain West, or I'll be taking teams that left who aren't doing as well as they should be and bringing them back to sort of try and rebuild the conference a little bit, make things a little interesting. Here's our schedule for this season going in the first year. There's not a lot I can do right now to change the roster. They have a fairly easy schedule. I think Washington State is one of those teams that is really not talked about enough. They've got a pretty good roster, which we'll go through right here. John Mateer, sophomore. It would be really important to see his progression throughout this to see if we can maybe increase our play style, increase some other things. We've got Leo Pulalasi, yeah, and then we have Schlenbacher as the other running back. Crazy names here. The rest of the team is very old, but the backfield is super young, so something to sort of build around. But we've got to essentially replace every single position on this team throughout the next 2 off seasons, because these are all rising seniors or rising juniors, guys that are going to be gone fairly soon. But like I said, man, I think it's a team that can make some noise in real life here. They've got a fairly good squad here, I think, especially if their pass game can be as good as sort of advertised. But I think they could be really good. I think not a lot of people are talking about them. One of the things I did notice, at least with the draft class I was given here, we had like 0 good recruits that were interested in us as like the top spot. We had first place interest, but they're all like 2 stars and 1 stars. So, we've got to compete against some much better pipelines in Washington and Oregon, in our own state. Not to mention like Oregon and California. So it's going to be a little difficult to compete with those Big Ten and now ACC schools, even with Stanford. As you can see here, I'm sort of building out my recruiting board. Got some guys I'm looking at. One issue here is that even though I started off as recruiter, both of the coordinators I have are tacticians. Actually, I think one of them is a motivator, but they're not recruiters. So essentially for this first year, I'm basically going in like blind. I'm not scouting anybody, because one little tip I'll give you: if you do not have like the recruiter abilities maxed out, or you don't have like at least the scouting maxed out, just don't worry about scouting. It's not worth the points. You have to spend 50 points a week if you don't have anything in scouting for that position. And if your coordinators can't help you, I would just like don't worry about it. You're gonna get guys who turn out to be busts and turn out to have bad overalls or bad dev, and it's just going to happen. But you've got to get the players. Don't waste your time with it. I'm not wasting my time here. I'm trying to build myself up. But you can see they're sort of building up the first board here. Got some 3 stars. I'm shooting my shot with some 4 stars, and I think even a 5 star. Kind of, Washington State's a lot easier than Ball State, which was my last rebuild, where I'm not having to like really scourge the heaps of 3 stars to get guys to fit. Like there are some 4 stars who off the bat want to come here. So you can see us kind of going through this recruiting process throughout the weeks, building ourselves a board, getting guys on here that we want. At this point now, I finally have a scouting up, so I'm actually able to scout some of these guys. But you can see even some of the guys I'm recruiting, I haven't even scouted. So we'll take ourselves to week 13. We were 8-2. Like I said, man, easy schedule. Our team is pretty good. Not a lot I could do, so I kind of just simmed through these. We had a 1-point loss against Washington, which is very frustrating. One of my goals here is that I want to win more games in the Apple Cup than I lose. I just want to kind of show Washington that they made a mistake leaving and going to the Big Ten. I want to give them some revenge. We had a 22-point comeback against Boise State, or I guess it would be a 15-point comeback. We scored 22 in the fourth. Crazy game there in Albertsons Field, I believe it's called. Yeah. I know my grocery store sponsored football fields. So we've got Oregon State and Wyoming to end the season. Big game against Oregon State. They're the only rival that is even in the Big 12 with us. So, gotta beat them as much. But you can see the board here. We are finally getting some guys. I got some 4-stars. I got a 4-star that was sort of not scouted, or not like recruited very well. But you can see going through the board, we've actually got a pretty good class shaping up here. A lot of guys who are being very under recruited. Just one of the things you go through your dynasty, always be looking for the guys who are under recruited, who aren't getting a lot of attention, and just, they just want somewhere to go, right? Like they want somebody to call their phone, ring their line, DM them. They want something. So I'm sort of just using my leverage there, giving them some attention when no one else will. But let's head into this Oregon State game for the first real gameplay here. I do believe this is not the real or the current Oregon State stadium. I believe this is the old stadium still that they haven't fixed yet. Little rude, honestly. Kind of disrespectful to do that to the Beavers over here, even though we're not fans of them this time. They do have their new uniforms in, which, if I'm also not mistaken, they actually did that before Oregon State was able to reveal them, so they spoiled them. So they just double whammied on Oregon State here. We'll head into our first offensive drive. Got a little bubble screen out here. I love this RPO bubble screen matchup. It's so good against the CPU because they love to blitz the corners, especially whenever we're running a lot of zone. They love sort of getting some more outside pressure, really collapsing that. So their cornerback, especially their nickel. Go here. Got a guy in the flat. So the big thing with this rebuild, man, we want to be able to sort of assert our dominance over the Pacific Northwest. We don't play Oregon, I believe, at all. I don't think we have any matchups with Oregon. But Washington and Oregon State, two teams we really want to go after, really want to beat down. And one of the things I will recommend, this is on Heisman, by the way. I've got a video coming out later this week showing my slider set. This is not on base Heisman. This is on a sort of Heisman with sliders, because I found that in my Ball State rebuild, if you guys watched that, the gameplay was a little too easy. I ran the Texas offense, very RPO heavy, and I was kind of able to dominate everybody. And here we got a big reception, touchdown, just moshed that cornerback. They're in cover 3, and I threw a terrible cover 3 read, but, man, it doesn't matter. But, man, I'm loving the uniforms. I love the pop of the red, especially against a team wearing all gray. Got a shovel pass here. This shovel pass, I really restrict myself how much I use it, but it doesn't matter. Schlembacher, broken tackle, touchdown, house call. Look at that, man. We have a very, very good duo in our backfield that is really going to help us throughout this rebuild. We need as many connective pieces as possible, especially with such an old team. And that touchdown would wind up not only winning us the PAC-2, we have one whole game in here, but it would help us beat Oregon State, lock them out. So we are officially the first PAC-2 champions. I'm honored. We got a bowl game against Charlotte, though. They are disrespecting us. We are the 24th ranked team in the nation. And they sent us the first responder bowl. That is a little disrespectful. I got no disrespect towards Charlotte. They have a very, very healthy fan base, a very passionate fan base over there. But, I would like to play a better opponent. We have a very small recruiting class so far. I'm leaving some room open for the transfer portal and off-season recruiting, especially in the earlier years whenever your coach is on a high level. In my opinion, is much more valuable to get smaller classes in the season and get higher quality recruits, and then kind of throw everything at the wall during the off season. You can see here, though, we do blow out Oregon State in terms of the class ranking. Going to National Signing Day here. Look at that, man. We started with 15, by the way. 15. We finished with 25. We had 2 guys who did not commit to us. But we finished with 25 recruits. I know, some 2-stars. Those are depth guys, guys who are going to fill some roster holes so we don't have walk-ons. Basically got like 22, 21. So I added about like 6 or 7 recruits. That's just how it is. We got some nice transfers here. A lot of those 2-stars happen to be transfers. But, that's going to make me high overall, fill spots on our team. We finished with a 31st class. So we're above UCLA, we're above Colorado, we're above Utah, above teams that moved on from us. And we're showing them like, hey, man, the ACC, the Big Ten, they should have called us. I know they did it for other reasons than, athletics, but it's like that. So Mafu Taliaferro, sorry, wound up being a 73, and Siaki Atwood, all these Pacific Northwest names are kind of getting me, but a big get there, 76 overall. We'll move on to our second recruiting class starting this next season. We got some okay progression, but like I said, all this stuff is going to sort of build up into something. These first couple of years are kind of a slog in terms of not a lot happens, but we've got some good interest here going in. I believe this is starting in week 2. This is sort of class I built out. It's difficult. I don't want to show you guys the class when it starts, because the class whenever I start the first season, the first week versus the class in like week 2 or week 3 is just completely different. But you can see like we got some pretty good build-ups. We're going into week 10 here. We got some nice recruits. We currently have a top 30, I believe, recruiting class. And you look here, man. So you do see I do have Washington as a force win. That is because of a bug that I will show you here that happened to me during the North Carolina game, because I don't play every snap of every game because it would be a little too easy for me. I want to see the team building kind of work out. But I've been getting this bug. I got this bug throughout the entire Dynasty, this entire rebuild, where it would just freeze up on me. I had that happen 3 times against Washington, all in the 4th quarter, all while I was blowing them out. So I said, screw it, man. I don't care if you think it's cheating. I'm forcing the win. Because like 28-21 is not. I had them like 56 to 20. I had their quarterback in hell. I was getting user picks, and I suck as a user. So I was having a day, and game took it away from me. But we wound up winning that game against North Carolina. We move into this match against Oregon State to see, can we win the PAC-2 back-to-back? And let's see here. We get some guys moving up. And the 300 XP is the key. When you see that, you got to win. We're 11-1. The thing is, though, is like I said, I'm rebuilding this Pac-12. I added Colorado State and Fresno State, and the conference is bugged. So Fresno State and Colorado State played their Mountain West schedule. They did not play us. I could not schedule them because they were a conference opponent. And Colorado State beat Fresno State by 4, and we beat Oregon State by 3. So because of point differential, Colorado State winds up winning it anyways. So we are the 11th ranked team in the nation. If we had won, I believe we would have made the college football playoff. But because, the game is not in the best state right now, we wound up losing out, and we got to go play in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, which I believe was definitely in contention for the college football playoff. When you think of prestigious bowl games, you think of the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, but sadly it's not. So, we got to play Boise State literally at home. Like, I can't imagine how boring of a bowl game that would be to play literally at home. I guess it might be cool because your family's there, but it's like, I want to go to Hawaii. But you can see here, man, we were such a good team. We were so much better than everyone else. I moved Colorado State and Fresno State because they were doing really well in the Mountain West, and I thought they'd do really well here. 6-6 is fine, but they're recruiting really well. They both had pretty good classes. We'll go into our recruiting, speaking of which. We got Gadosh, 4-star gem. We got Bad News, fire name, 4-star gem. We got some good guys in this class here. Got a nice mix of 4 stars and 3 stars. Very heavy on the 3 stars, especially towards the back end, but we have a lot of gems. Sadly, we're not going to get Fabian, the fullback. I really wanted a gem fullback, but for the most part here, looking like we're going to get all these guys, or at least compete for a lot of these guys. Pretty good class. Not necessarily ranking-wise, I don't think so. A lot of 3 stars. Not going to rank super high. We do wind up having the 28th class currently. That, of course, is going to change by the time that National Signing Day is over. As you see here, we're going through the transfer list, trying to see what we got. And I just want to show this because Caleb Downs has transferred every single season in this. He transferred 3 times. Like, brother, I don't know if this happened to you guys, but, like, pick a school, man. Like, nothing's good for you. Go to National Signing Day. We finished as the 8th team in the country, number 8, a top 10 finish. And we have a pretty good class here. We signed 31 people. That is a little too much. Like, let's relax here. We got a team to build, right? We got things to do, but you know, it's a lot. We did wind up getting 2 transfers from Washington, which is kind of a funny, like, fuck you. And we got 2 transfers from Fresno State. So in conference, you know, we're loosening up our competition here. Doing a pretty good job, doing some sabotaging. See here, we're going down. We wound up finishing with the 37th class. 28 3-stars. I can promise you half of them are gems, though. This is key. You got to get gems. They've got good dev. And dev is so important. I want to go into this 3rd season here. I just want to show this because we have an 85 overall team. And we lost to Kennesaw State. Yeah. We lost to Kennesaw State. Moment of silence. Long Johnson put the hammer on us. If you know, you know. Got some pretty good results here. Getting some players of the week. Our guys are popping off. Tony Freeman, the senior. 3 touchdowns. And we, as you see here, man, we got 2 4-stars, including a 4-star. Sorry, 3 4-stars. I'm sorry. 4 guys. I'm sorry. 5 guys, including 6 guys, and we get a 4-star quarterback. Our team's moving. Our team's moving along. This is, I believe, exactly just the clip I showed you. This is an editing error. What are we doing here, man? But we're 3-2. Not the start you would want from an 85 overall team. I would tell you, man. Overall does not matter. This game is so random. We got a pretty good class here. Nick Pierce is our first guy. We got 3-star gem. We have a 5-star tight end right there, Newcomb. 4-star quarterback, 4-star wide receiver who's a gem, and a 4-star guard. Massive start to this class for us. We have only 11 targets, though, because we have so many recruits we've gotten over the last couple of years that I had to shorten it down. We're going in here. I gotta show how we did against Arizona. Run up the middle. Get ya. Hey, man, Arizona, you left our conference, and I gotta prove to you that I gotta prove to the Big 12 that they made a mistake not including us in here. We wound up beating them 49-33, a big one for us. This was a win that got us some recruits. This is where that visit sort of came from that got us all of those guys. I also just want to show you guys this stupid catch I got. Like, what is that? What are we doing here? Come on, man. This is a SportsCenter top 10 play right there. Looking at it right now, we have the 14th ranked class with 24 targets on our board. We are looking great, man. We are looking great. We had such a good start to this class that's kind of carrying us, but that's okay. That's all right. You know, we're beating out most of the former Pac-12 teams, so you take it. You look at that, man. We are 6-5. Going into this last week, like a terrible way for our quarterback to go out, or because our quarterback is a senior. We have an 85 overall team. It's kind of hoping for a lot more, and it's just not there, man. 6-6 or 6-5. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. And like I said, man, it's a little frustrating with this game sometimes. You build a good team. We did finish 6-6. I did get ahead of myself. You finish with a good team, they don't do that well. So I say, I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm firing my coordinators. I'm done with this bullshit. We had a good year last year. They're not good recruiters. I said, screw it, man. We'll be fine with it. I'll be like, I'll keep my DC. Wait, maybe. No, our team sucked. This is scorched earth, man. I'm clearing out the building. I'm getting rid of everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you are. You're out. We got to make some changes here. We went 6-6. With a very, very good team. We cannot have that happen. We wound up getting the Duke's Mayo Bowl. another prestigious bowl game, And I was mad. I was angry. I was like, I got to put on for John Mateer, man. He deserved so much better than this. Pump fake. House call. Like, come on, man. They can't keep up with us. How did we go 6-6? We had like a super easy schedule too. Like we play like nothing but Mountain West teams basically. See us 14-7. Okie State stands no chance. They stand no chance against us. Like, who do you think we are, man? It's 35-7 in the third quarter. We got the backups in, and it's just a walk-in touchdown for Smithson, who, by the way, is a converted free safety who jumped up 12 overall this offseason. So, kind of cool. You can change people's positions, and sometimes do pretty well. The final there, 45-10. Like, I'm sorry, Oklahoma State. You just caught us at a bad time. You caught us at a bad time. I had to show out. John Mateer finishes his career 382 yards and 4 touchdowns. A big game there. See, Zegwu is a 76. He will not start, though. I have Tevita Pelalai, who is a 96 speed quarterback, who I'm going to start over Fox, who we got as a transfer coming in. One thing I did not know whenever I made that decision is that, as you see, Pelalai is an 82 overall as a senior. We got Tay Hobbs, junior. It's going to contribute for us a little bit. The quarterbacks in this game do not rush well, even if you have like Lamar Jackson in your backfield. They just don't. So it doesn't really matter. I would actually recommend, I realized this after I did this rebuild, go for field general quarterbacks and start your field general guys because they perform so well in sim, so well. And I'd actually argue that they're even better in gameplay. I think they're by far the best quarterbacks to go. Even the super fast quarterbacks do not play very fast in the game. It's not like having a fast wide receiver or a fast halfback. It's just not the same. You see Pena, 75 overall. We've got a nice core, nice young wide receiver core here to build off of. Our tight end was a 73, but he's got good dev, so I'm going to hit him with a little red shirt. I'm actually redshirting basically every freshman because one thing I've also realized is for some reason if you play the freshmen, to me at least, it feels like they don't progress as fast as whenever you redshirt them. I think redshirts get the biggest jump. So, I mean, it's stupid, but just redshirt everybody, in my opinion. Mafu making some progress. Sadly cannot break the starting lineup. Gadosh, 77. Bad news, 77. We're building something, but Siaki Atwood is an 82 overall. One of the better players on our defense. So, he's making some moves. He's been like a 3-year starter for us. And you see here, some of our guys not progressing as well as I want, but Cameron McGath is a normal dev, and he is an 86 overall right now as a junior. And he started as like a 68. So, I don't know. I don't know anything. I figured dev mattered more. It's also the skill gaps. I've got to do a lot more research and a lot more learning about it. I'll be completely honest. You see here, though, Nick Pierce, defensive tackle, elite dev. Huge. He's going to reach his ceiling a lot faster. Like I said, I'm going to do a lot more work and research into those ceilings. You see Bruce Krewalt, another elite dev, this time at strong safety. So we got some guys on the defense. I want to test out how fast our quarterback is. So we're jumping in the first game here against Western Michigan. Pulalasi, though, kind of stealing the show for us, man. I don't know why this dude does not play well in sim. Well, I do. This game sucks, but he is so good in game. I'd be going crazy with him. We wound up beating Western Michigan, but we gave up 34 points. I was getting cooked. I was getting absolutely cooked by this quarterback. Let me tell you that. Sometimes you play on Heisman and the quarterback you're playing against is like prime Tom Brady. It's like, who the hell is this Western Michigan guy? He was crazy. I just could not stop him. We'll go into our recruiting, doing the same thing I did last year. Limited targets, high quality. We've got this 5-star white cracker back. A guy we can go get. We've got plenty of 4-stars coming in, though. Some 4-star gems, some good dev here. We're 5-1 at the break, at the bye week, making better progress than we did last year. We're not 6-6. Hopefully not on our way to a 6-6 season. Hopefully we're making some more noise, making a little bit, better gameplay there. Joey Stevens comes in. Nico Bias, a 5 and a 4-star. Like I said, man, we're making moves. We're making things shake. We're getting the guys we want. We're a top 25 team in the country. We're landing top recruits. We're starting to really get things done for us. It's a slow process. Whenever you do this, whenever you're playing and you're like when I made a TikTok. If you don't follow my TikTok, you definitely should. Where I was talking about my recruiting process, my sort of I made like a mini guide, and people were asking me like, look, man, like I'm trying all this stuff and it's just not working. Like I'm not making the progress that I should be. I'm not signing guys, and I'm telling you right now, it is a slow progress. You've got to build up those motivations. You've got to build up the interest. You've got to build up your playing style, your coach prestige, all of that. And then once you get that, you're pretty set. That's like for me, I get the big boosts in the sort of guys I'm getting in the third and fourth season. And then by year 5, I'm recruiting anybody I want across the country, basically, with obvious limitations. But you got to give it some time, man. You're not going to jump in here to even Wazzu and be able to have a top 5 class, like with a base level coach. It's not possible. You've got to go for quality. You've got to go for those gems. You got to find guys that really fit your team and fit the sort of the resources you have. See here, our 5-1 schedule has been a little bit Mickey Mouse. We got blown out by Washington, but man, a win's a win. Team is what their record is, as they say. And we're moving on to the Pac-12 championship, moving a little bit further in the season here. We did not have a very difficult schedule, but we went 10-2. We still dropped a game anyways. I believe I'm going to go into that, see what the team schedule is. You see, though, after the break, we really put on the brakes on some teams. Blew out Nevada, Virginia, Sam Houston, but we lost to Iowa State, who's not good. We then beat the brakes off Oregon State, though. So we just beat the shit out of them. We should be doing a lot better, but we'll go into the fourth quarter. 2-minute drill here. He's 24-20. This is not the result I was expecting, so I got to jump in. I got to see what's going on here. We're down by 4. Clock's ticking. We got to make something happen. We got to make something move. Pelalai's got to save our season. Man, we're 10-2. We got a chance. Deep ball. Lorello, touchdown. Wazzu. That's the sort of stuff we need. That's our 4-star wide receiver, and he winds up clinching the game for us right there, right then. 27-24. Pelalai's trying to make a name for himself here in Pullman. Lorello trying to make a name for himself here in Pullman. We got a good thing brewing. We got a good team brewing. But sadly, we somehow drop in the rankings after being the 12th ranked team, and we have to go to the Boca Raton Bowl. Like, what is this? What is going on here? We are getting disrespected. We are getting spit on and laughed at by the committee. They hate us. They hate us. Okay? Like, there's some conspiracy going on. I don't know what's happening. We finished with 12 early signing day. We have 12 recruits, and we're still a really good class because we have 3 5-stars. So you know what? Quality over quantity for us right now. Leonard Jewell, player of the game. We did blow them out in the Boca Raton Bowl, by the way. But Leonard Jewell is a converted quarterback, by the way. He's a quarterback turned to wide receiver because he's like 6'3" and has 95 speed. And it's like, brother, like, you're a receiver. I'm sorry. Like, with the way they play in this game, you're a receiver. So, Pelalai, pretty good season. Not a great season on the ground. Pelalai had a 1,000-yard year, which was a little surprising that he even got 1,000. I'm going to go on a rant here. I'm so sick and tired of these rushing totals. They suck. Like, the stat totals in general are pretty bad because they don't... I think it's mostly because the sim does not play enough snaps. And also teams are just super pass heavy in this. Like, the rushing efficiencies in this game are really bad. I think it's because they're bad in Madden too and they use the same engine. But it's like the stats are so fucking bad. Like, you cannot have a really good running back in this game, which is stupid. Like, most teams run the ball a lot better than they pass it. See our pass totals here. We almost had 2,000-yard receivers. Got some good, contributions from other guys. Max Cole, though, a surprise. 13 sacks as a redshirt freshman. Not the guy I expected to lead us in sacks. Siaki Atwood had 14 TFLs, only 5.5 sacks. Still a really good year for us on the defensive line, but my heart is broken. Jordan Lorello is transferring. I can't bring him back. He says, "No, coach, I'm out of here. Our play style isn't high enough. Like, my brother in Christ, that's all we did. We passed the ball. Like, we passed, everybody passed the ball. Like, what is going on? We lose Lorello, a big issue for us. We've got to replace him. But luckily, Jewel Johnson-Barnes made some progress. Did pretty well in the off-season progression. You can see the new Pac-12 I built here. BYU, Utah, Stanford, and Cal bringing in. I actually brought Cal and Stanford in here because they're doing too well in the ACC. The ACC sucks now. So I brought them in here with Utah and BYU, who are underperforming despite their overall. And you can see there, man, we are a 90 overall. Okay, we were a 90 overall. Like, if you do not think I know what I'm doing here, I've got it on the gameplay. You can say anything else about the video, but I've got it on what I'm doing with the recruiting, man. I'm like Nick Saban out here, okay? I've got like the insta commit almost. Even though I've never gotten that ability, and I likely never will because it is way too expensive in this game. You can see us here though. We've got some 5 stars, including a 5-star gem outside linebacker, which you know. I see 5-star gem. I'm throwing the kitchen sink at him. Okay, I'm throwing everything at him. I'm texting him. I'm texting his mama. I'm sending the house. I'm DMing him. I'm selling him on everything. I'm sending baddies in the Dodge Charger to his house. Okay, like, we are sending the best things in Pullman. Okay, I believe they have really good cheese. He's getting lifetime cheese if he comes here too. I know a little bit about my Wazzu lore. I've got. If you think I'm talking out my ass, you can look it up. I'm like 95% sure that they have a really like well-known cheese that they make. I guess there's not a lot of things going on in Washington these days. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they're just bored. See here though, we're 90 overall, including this guard Anthony Monroe, 77, redshirt freshman. I'm sorry, I am redshirting the freshman, and he is elite dev at 77 overall. Elite dev 77 overall. Like, that dude is gonna be nuts. He's gonna be insane. Move on here to the Apple Cup. I love this concept here, which for some reason I'm forgetting the name of, which is really embarrassing. It's a very easy concept. 3rd and goal here. We're down by 3, and Pelalai, he doesn't run like 96 speed, but he runs faster than most guys. So we get a touchdown, and we're gritting on them because this game is out of Washington's hands. 28-20, 4th quarter. Deep shot. Where's the safety? He's nowhere to be found. Pena, the redshirt freshman, bullies his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Wazzu. Give us that Apple Cup. We wound up not only scoring that, but then in sim, we scored, forced a fumble, and scored again. Like, if I'm doing one thing here, I'm breeding a team that hates Washington. We despise Washington. So, big win there in the Apple Cup. Pelalai showing that he is the quarterback of the future, the quarterback that can lead us to something great. And off of that win, we get Gidelli. Not going to try and pronounce his name. Dwayne. We get Dwayne, the 5-star gem outside linebacker who's going to transfer to a defensive end because he is a power rusher. I'm not playing him as a coverage guy. Move on here later, and we get a 4-star tight end. We're just stacking the tight ends. We're getting those recruits. We're keeping it up. We're keeping it going, man. The recruiting is easy for us, and we finished the season 10-2. I don't even have to show you what happened in this year because it was so boring. It was so boring. We blew everybody out. Obviously not. We went 10-2. But we finished the 7th-ranked team in the country. We had a little tomfoolery in the schedule. I'll be completely honest because, it's this game. We beat the brakes off Washington, who's the 2nd-ranked team in the country, by the way. Keep that in mind. But when we lost to Arkansas by 28, and then we lost to Fresno State, I was like, all right. So I get in there, halftime speech, and then mid-season speech, and then we blew everybody else out till the end of the season. We barely beat Cal, who was really good. They lost a lot of one-score games this year. Stanford, who also lost a lot of one-score games this year, and then we beat Oregon State, Our season this year, Pelalai was not as good as he was last year. A little surprising. Tay Hobbs, not the season Pelalai had, but, Just the game. Pelalai did have 500 yards rushing, though. Our passing was not as efficient, but Pena, as a freshman who was the fourth wide receiver, who I put in as a slot, 700 yards. We had 4 receivers do pretty well. Newcomb getting some contributions in there. Defensively, one of the things I noticed, even though I did not change the playbook, we did not get many sacks. Like, at all. I don't know what it is. We have a really good defensive line and they didn't get any sacks. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. We got... Malachi Trice had 18 TFLs. So, maybe we're just playing like against every option team. Maybe I'm not realizing that all these teams are running option all the time, but I guess that's how it is. Our defense did not produce well at all. Our defense was probably the biggest issue, despite the fact they're a 90 overall defense. We're a 90 overall offense, 90 overall defense, 90 overall team. Our kicker had a good year. So there you go, for all the kickers out there. Move on to the PAC-12, which is now Pac-10 championship. We got a wild card here. We are struggling in Stanford. Stanford is no joke. They're 8-4, but they're no joke. We're gonna walk into the end zone here, though. Touchdown, Wazzu. We gotta put things out of the way. We wound up doing that. 31-17. We beat Stanford again, man. I'm gonna say it. They're a good team. They're like an 80. I believe they're like an 87, 86 or 87. Like, they're a good team. Like, they just lost so many one-score games. They also play like Notre Dame and USC. So, 8-5, playing us twice, Notre Dame and USC, not that bad. Not a bad year for them. But we go to the college football playoff. We finally get it. I spent enough money. I paid them off. I said, here's all the apples you want. And we get to finally go and play Bama. We get to play post-Saban Bama, 90 overall team. We're at 89 in this because I think we have some wear and tear. But Alabama is one of the few teams in this league that is now a higher overall than us. We were one of the highest overall teams in the entire game now. I believe we're in the top 5 of that. So, we got some work to do. We got a big opponent here. And I'm telling you, man, defensive highlight, more like a low light because we can't tackle. This team is going to be tough for us to beat. I'm thinking here, I'm like, man, I'm really going to have to work on this. I'm not playing, of course, every down. We got 3rd and 6 here to 4th and 1. But I am playing a few of them. And one of them is right here. First drive, by the way. First offensive drive. And I'm like, we're on the 26-yard line. Let me run duo on 4th and 1. Like, we're getting this. I'm going hat on hat against Alabama. And it almost didn't work. But... it did. And that's why they have me as the play caller, because I do that, and then I followed up with this. Jewel, touchdown. Washington State. We are making a statement in this game in the Cotton Bowl here, showing that we can hang with Alabama. And we're going to go to the sim here because I want you to watch how quickly this turns for Alabama here. It's 10-7. Got to think about it for a minute. What do I want to do? Okay, we're gonna go next quarter. Okay. Oh wow, we scored. Okay, yeah. It's 10-14. That's good. That's good for us. Oh, 10-21. We're at 10-21 at halftime. Our defense is shoring them up, but like surely they're gonna come back. Oh my God, it's 10-28. Oh my God, it's 10-35. And then now it's 35-24, 38-24. They'll go on and they'll score. I'm ending the game here. It's a minute 04. We get the win here. They score because Super Sim is bullshit in this game. But 38-31, really 38-24 here. Our team in Sim, not me playing, in Sim, beats the brakes off of Bama. Would you believe it? I sure don't. I sure didn't. I was like, what? Pelalai. Why am I struggling with that? Tevita had a really big game for us. Our passing game was a lot better than it's been for most of the season. And we get our next date, Max Cole. Big game for him. I'm telling you, like, we got a stud here. I don't know what it is. His dev's not even that crazy. Mo Pena, 7 for 88 and 2 touchdowns. Another stud there. And we get to test ourselves against the best of the SEC. We go Alabama, and then we go Georgia, the 2 top dogs in the SEC and really in the country, the number 1 team in the country we got to face now. They are not giving us any slack here. But you see the other side, we got 2 purple teams. We might have 3 SEC matchups, or we might play Washington to win it all. Could you imagine that? An Apple Cup in Arlington? But we got to beat Georgia first. Otherwise, we got another season ahead of us. We got to make something shake here. So going through Sim, starting off Georgia, oof. They score, but we answer right back. Our team in Sim is like, no, we do not care. Georgia goes down, they answer. We're gonna go right back. We turn it over in the red zone though, so it's 14-7. Going through third quarter here, 21-7, but we answer right back. We give them a punch, but we missed the extra point. It was 21-13. We gotta make something happen here. On the 4-yard line, first and goal. I don't know how Tay Hobbs gets out of that. He's Houdini in here, escaping from everything. And that's a touchdown. And it's a tie game now, 21-21. 4.5 minutes in the fourth. Let's hand it to Tay Hobbs again. We got the ball back, and he makes a man miss. He's getting shimmy out there. He's got the shifty ability. I believe he has it in gold. So that makes him pretty good as a user because he moves pretty fast. So we're going to say, you know what, man, let's run the zone. Hand it to him again. Get some yards. We have to move the ball against this Georgia team like it's nobody's business because they are tough, man. They are tough on the trenches especially. You see how many stars they have out there, how many impact players they have. Like, we've got some difficulty here. Going to hand it off to Tay Hobbs again. He is the MVP of this team right now. I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. It's this masterful Samoan offensive line that I have built for this squad that is able to go out there and just beat the brakes off of everybody. We've got Benito, who's feeling Benito. He is a 5'7" halfback, by the way. He's 5'7". Not a joke. He is a small man. And we're going to hand it to him again. Man. Everybody on that Georgia team is bigger than him. And it doesn't matter. He's got us down to the one. Small man, making things happen, making big things happen. And then, you know what, man? We are running the damn ball down their throat. That is beautiful football. Touchdown. We take the lead. We came back. It was 21-7. We take the lead. It's 31-28 because we scored in Sim again. And all we got to do here, 31-28, 18 seconds left. We got to get a first down. First play, running duo, goes nowhere. I made a bad read there. Bad read. That was not a good play for duo. I should have switched to a zone concept, get more second level there. But it's okay. It's okay. We got making some adjustments, making sure we don't fumble the ball because I've seen too much of that. And we're going to run some base here. We're going to run an RPO. We're going to switch it to this zone. Have the guy come across. And we've got a lane. We've got a lane. And we've got the first down. Look at that, man. Washington State. We win. We upset Georgia. Georgia who? Georgia who? College football runs through Pullman, Washington. It runs through Washington State. Both literally and theoretically, because it is literally running through Washington this year. We get to play Washington, the Huskies, in the Apple Cup rematch after we blew the brakes off of them earlier in the national championship. Big date in Arlington for us. We got to make something happen here. We are in the national championship. A big day for us. 13-2 versus 13-3. Washington, they go down and they score. They score again. It's 10-0. This Washington team, they came to play. You know, they're similar overall, but we get 10-6. Okay. We're moving the ball. A slow drive. We have to give it back, but we get it right back. I can't even talk that fast. We scored 2 touchdowns in like a fraction of a second. It's 20-10. They're going to score 20-17, and they're going to make it 20-20. We make it 27-20, and we get a chance to shut this game down. 7 minutes, start of the fourth quarter. I play on 7-minute quarters. Tay Hobbs runs into a tackle here. Okay, I'm not adjusting or like doing anything to this game. This is clear. This is purely slow sim. This is not me playing. I'm letting my guys play it out. Okay, I trust my guys. 3rd and 4, make something happen. Pena, first down. Sorry, that's Jewel, first down. I get confused with the numbers sometimes. That's our impact player, though, right there. We're going to hand it to Hobbs again. Making something happen. 9-yard gain. Like I said, man, we run an air raid system, but we were not afraid to bruise. We actually don't run an air raid. We run a spread now because the sim stats were bad. But Washington State's known for an air raid offense, but we are bruising the ball. I've changed the identity of this team. We are a hard-nosed football team. We're not doing this, silly RPO, like spread, stack stuff, even though I do run that. We're a hard-nosed football team. 2nd and 11 here. Get a couple yards. Actually, you get 1 yard. 3rd and 10. Under 6 minutes. I don't like how we're not running on the clock, but it's okay. I trust my guys. I trust my OC. Or I guess I was calling this. And Pelalai. That's not his name. Pelalai is sacked right there. 4th and 18. Oh, man, I'm sorry. The names are getting me a little bit. But big sack right there. Washington's going to get the ball back. We can't let anything happen. We get a big sack there on the 1st down play. Huge for us. We push them back a little bit. 2nd and 16. Crowd's going wild. Cheerleaders are going wild. They're all on meth. You see it in their face. That's Marco Butler, by the way, who is a 3-star coverage linebacker who actually, for some reason, progressed as a blitzer this year, but did not progress as a pass coverage guy. This game's a little silly sometimes. 2nd and 16 here. They get a little dump off to the tight end, and he breaks a couple tackles. Their quarterback, by the way, is named Lawrence Ludwig. I just thought you should know that. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. He delivers a strike, though, down the field. His 1st and 10. Washington's moving the ball. We got to watch out here. They're going hurry-up offense here. They're speeding things up. They want to catch us off guard, keep us on our toes, because they saw something that maybe we didn't. Sitting here, they've got all the guys tucked in. They've got a very compact formation right here. They hand the ball off, and it goes nowhere. Our secondary kind of sucks sometimes, but I'll tell you this. Our defensive line, I built myself a pretty good D-line. Okay, we get some pressure. I don't know why Marco's rushing so much. And it doesn't matter, man. Like I said, our DBs suck. Lawrence Ludwig through the heart of the Washington State defense. Huge post play right there. Out of the slot. Gets a touchdown. 3rd and 15. We got a chance to move it, and we throw a pick into their territory. They're down at the 36 with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. Tevita, what are we doing, man? We give Washington a chance to take the lead, to take the win against us. We cannot let this happen. But they first play, we're swarming the ball. Our guys are hungry. They're like, we want that natty more than anything in the world. We do not care what it takes. They're going to hand the ball off here on 2nd down, and they are going nowhere. We are swarming to the ball. If there's one thing we are passionate as we head into the 2-minute warning, which is still a little weird that this is in college football, but it's okay. 27, 3rd and 11. Washington State with a chance to extend their drive, and it's knocked away. Huge play. We get the ball back. 1:53. We got a chance to go down the field and break the hearts of the Huskies here in Arlington. 2nd and 5. A little 5-yard out right there. 1:50 on the clock. Clock is stopped. Deep pass. Tevita going for it all, and it's dropped by Jewel. No, we cannot have that. We cannot have that. Back to pass, but he hits Tayobbs out of the backfield on 3rd and 5, and he's going, and he's rumbling, and it is down to the 25-yard line. Pelalai, a huge play right there for the quarterback, for the junior, for our signal caller. Gets us down to the 25. We got 1:36 seconds left. We have to do 2 things. We've got to burn their timeouts, and we got to burn the clock, get ourselves in a position to kick a game-winning field goal. That is the current game plan. 2nd and 6 here, 1:32. They've got 1 timeout. Hand it to Tayobbs. He's going to take it. Patience. 1st down. That's not the type of running you'd see out of a user. That's not the type of running you'd see out of me. Showing his patience. A little Le'Veon Bell in there. Making a few guys miss. Tayobbs gets it again. Doesn't get anywhere, but it's okay. Because we just got to burn the clock. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. 3rd and goal. A kick to win it all for Washington State. And it is good. Would you look at that? Ian Badeo wins it all for the Cougars. Brings it home to Pullman. I told you at the beginning of this, football runs through Pullman, Washington. It runs through the Washington State Cougars. And that's the ball game. That's all, folks. We did it. It took us a few years. It took us 5 years in total to bring this team from pretty good to a super team to a national championship winning Washington State program, proving the Big Ten and the ACC and the Big 12 and Larry Scott that they were all real stupid and that they should have picked up us and they should have kept this Pac-12 together. And even if they didn't, all those conferences are calling our name like, we got to get the national champions in here. And we get to go anywhere we want now. So a big win for us. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this rebuild. I've got a couple videos in the pipeline here. I've got a continuation of my Long Johnson Road to Glory out in Kennesaw State. 2-star quarterback playing on Heisman, so if you'd like to watch that. I've also got an Ultimate Dynasty guide coming towards the end of the week. Really excited for that. Going to show you guys a lot of the tips and tricks I use to build teams like this into national championship winning teams and 90 overall teams. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.